It's in the English language. You have some French words in English, right? In the English language.
Right.
French words in the English language, okay? For example, look at this. Déjà vu, entrepreneur, début, cuisine. So in the United States, when you say something like, I'm going to have a coffee at a cafe, it's perfectly okay. It's perfect, especially when you're speaking, right? Or in Latin American countries, it's very different. Go down, or the rain is falling. That's correct in English, okay? So there's a big difference. So in the United States, the people need a book to tell them not to be redundant, because being redundant is cool and it's okay when you're talking because you're speaking clearly, and speaking clearly is good. However, in writing is different. You know why it's different in writing? Because in writing you can sit down and read the article one, two, or three or four times. So that's why it's not necessary. That's why this book says that it's not necessary to be redundant. Uh-huh. Now, let's look at an example, okay? Let's go to page 114, and let's look at an email, okay? And
Okay.
this email says, this email right here. Dear customer, we have received your request to return the faulty monitor, which is not displaying the correct colors. This story is like the story in this case you have to think about like the specialty level or the technical level. Does the other person have the same technical level as you? If you're talking about finance and accounting, your technical level is going to be higher than mine in accounting and numbers. So this is like the story of a doctor, and the doctor asks you, hey, what's the problem? And you say to the doctor, well, I had a arrhythmic cardiac arrest because because my glucose levels were very high. And the doctor is going to say, what? How do you know that? And I say, I looked at the internet, and the doctor is going to say, no, 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 don't do that. Because the doctor is expecting that he wants to know what the problem is, but he doesn't want you to tell him to diagnose yourself. So in this case, if you say faulty monitor, they in this book they say that it's not necessary to say that it's not displaying the correct colors, because you already mentioned that there was a problem with the monitor.
Okay.
This is assuming that the other person is a professional. You're a professional, the other person is a professional. So the other person is going to find out what the problem is.
Okay.
Okay, so okay,
Okay.
we will process this as fast as possible in order to provide a quick and reliable service. We kindly ask you to follow these instructions closely. Within the next 12 hours, you will receive two emails from GTS. In the first email, you will find a link to a GTS return label. Please print out this label with a laser printer. This stars means that the information is missing. You have some missing information. The missing information, that it says that you will receive two emails, but you only have one email. So this stars mean that you need information for the other email, correct?
Okay.
Okay. Now, please pack your defective device into its original packaging. Afterwards, please clearly stick, well, here, with this number, you can track the delivery status of your item on the internet. Please pack your defective device into its original packaging. Afterwards, please clearly stick the return label on the box so that it's easily visible. So, because it is an email and because you can sit down and read it again, it says here that please clearly stick the return label. So if you say clearly stick, that means that it's easily visible. So in the email, this is not necessary. However, remember, when you are speaking and the other person has a lower technical level than you, it's perfectly okay to say that well, stick the return label on the box, please, clearly, so that it is easily visible. This is perfect if you're talking to a person, especially a person that's distracted or not paying attention. Yes, it's okay. So remember that this is just a tool that you can use. It's not a rule. It's not a rule. You can speak redundant if the other person needs to be reminded of the correct instructions, or if it's an email, like in this case, you can take it out. When your parcel is ready for collection, please call GTS to arrange for a collection. And here we have some missing information, but I'm not sure what that is. Make sure you pack your defective device in the original packaging. If you don't have the original packaging or any other secure packaging for transportation, contact us by email so that we can provide you with with suitable packaging. This, please let us know. This is not the end of the email, okay? The email continues here. Please only send in your defective LCD display together with its stand and the external power adapter without its power cord. You will be charged for extra shipping costs in case we need to send back any accessories which you sent to us in error. Now, that please let us know. Maybe you can move it from this part of the email. You can move it to the end. Please let us know if you have any doubts. Yours sincerely, Electronic Computer Services.
Okay.
Let's go back to the original page. And
As your skill writing requires more planning before and editing after than ¿cómo se dice? US. Useful. Useful.
okay, so if you look at these words, for example, right? Um, Once again, I have absolutely no problem with, for example, general public, because
Yes.
you can say it's open to the general public. By the way, no one is gonna criticize you in English for being redundant. No, nobody's gonna say the public is general. This is not a problem in English. You're using different languages like French and Italian to make your message clearer. It's not common for people to criticize you for being redundant. However,
Okay.
however, in writing, sometimes you can eliminate the adjective. If you say public, you can eliminate general. If you say close proximity, maybe in writing you can eliminate close because proximity means close. Advanced planning, the same thing, you eliminate advance. Advanced reservations, advance. Difficult,
Eliminate advance
yes,
challenge.
difficult challenge, you can eliminate difficult. Past experience, past. Yeah, but it's very common for people to say past experience, but it's a different, like if you talk about experience, maybe you talk about a lesson that you learned, and if you talk about it
Okay.
past experience, maybe this is a common questions in your interviews, like tell me about your previous job experience. Remember that it's okay in English, but as a recommendation in the book, only you can correct this maybe in writing because people can actually sit down and read the email two times. All meet
Okay.
together, together because meet is the verb. Each and every. You can either say every or each. Reason is because. You can either say because or the reason is. However, if you say, "Oh, the reason is because," it sounds okay. Speaking basic
Yes.
fundamentals, basic end
Mhm.
result. Uh,
And
yeah,
maybe and
yeah. No, well, this I think that these are two different words. Result is one thing, and end result is another thing. The result is just like the result of maybe a mathematical equation. When you talk about the end result, maybe you're talking about the process
the final result.
after a process. You're thinking about the process, like he divorced and then he went to court and then in the end result he ended up alone, for example. You know, it's like
Okay.
you're when you say that you're thinking about. So both of them are correct. It's not really redundant. Regular
Okay, okay.
regular routine. This is just an emphasis on the routine, but a routine is usually regular. Once again, only in writing. In speaking is perfect. Cheap price. This is the one example that is really redundant. This is really redundant. Why? Because when you say, "Oh, that sweater is really cheap," well, you're talking about the price.
Yes.
You're not gonna say this sweater has a cheap price. That's a yeah. That's an example really really redundant. Okay.
Mhm.
So this is the only real example here, or estimated roughly at. This is another example. Yes, you can either say estimated or roughly at, but don't put both of them in the same sentence. hmm
Okay.
Unexpected surprise. No, this is okay. You know what? You know why? Because usually surprise, we think of a surprise as positive, like a pleasant surprise, right? Or a surprise party. When you say unexpected surprise, is that you were not expecting something positive to happen today, for example. You know, so it was unexpected
Yes.
surprise.
I know.
So it's okay. It's okay to say unexpected surprise. But once again, the book recommends that in writing, we can take that off. Uh huh. Now, do me a favor. Copy the email, but remember
Okay.
which information is redundant. So don't copy the information that is redundant. Just copy the email, but without the redundant information.